What's up, everyone? I got this today, just now. I haven't even opened it, as you can see. And I can't surprise you because my title is already going to say what it is, but came with this little card. Eric Mail Artist. With all of his info. Mail? I don't know if it's pronounced mail, but... Oh, it comes with that little card too, a little signed card. We'll just unwrap. Oh, it's really nice and easy to unwrap. I love that. Thank you so much for your support, Eric. That's really nice. I always like when you get like a handwritten little thank you note. I love that he did it in white too. That's pretty cool. Okay, anyway. Very nice, very nice. I'll put this in my tin of extras. And we'll save this to recycle. There she is. The Inkwitch deck. Who would have thought? I have been thinking about this one for probably over a month now. And, you know, it's just come up time and time again. And finally I was like, okay, you know. It's a very fair price for an indie deck. What was it? 34, 37? Something like that. But very, very fair pricing for an indie deck. And from what I saw, it combines kind of like mystical, fairy tale, with modern, you know, type imagery. And I'm not super into modern decks, but I finally decided, like, you know, maybe this one will work well for me since it is like a mixture. And it was just beautiful. So let's see what we think. Maybe. Ooh, I already scratched the box with my scissors. That's all right. That's all right. This is not being easy to open. What do I have? I need a letter opener is what I need for this kind of stuff. That would be nice, right? I really don't. No, I don't want to use these scissors. They're too big. I can't get this open though. Come on. Maybe the other end. There we go. We'll just take it out the bottom. Just take it out the bottom. Okay, cool. There is no cellophane. Some people wouldn't like that. I don't mind it because it's one less step. And, you know, there's no chance of ruining the cards if I don't have to cut the cellophane. So, I mean, I love the backs. How can you not love the backs? So that was a big draw. Obviously not the only draw. I'm not going to get a deck just because of the backs. But, okay. Cool. Looks like they're in order. Let's go through them and see what we think. I have no decks with kitties, so I love that. I know there's at least one. I think there's a couple of cats in here. So he uses a lot of like those sepia tones. So I really like that that feel of the entire deck. The Magician. I love that owl. That's one of the images that drew me to the deck in the first place. To be frank, with his key. And you do have all the suits here, so that's really cool. The High Priestess, I need to get out of the habit of just wanting and expecting, like, traditional imagery. Because, you know, I've seen, like, me and Lady Knight of Avalon did this thing a while ago where we would exchange cards and each read each other each other's decks. We'd pick some cards or a card or whatever, and we would read it intuitively. And well, I have all very kind of traditional decks. She had some that were more like along these lines, and it would force me to think in different ways. And I don't have a deck that does that, so I think this deck will be good for me. It's an interesting High Priestess as the bishop. That's interesting. There is no guidebook, which is fine. The Empress and the Emperor are both really cool. They match. Very nice. The Hierophant. And now we know. One of the things that drew me to the deck, like, hello. Now, okay, with any deck, like, I feel especially with, You know, it's hard for me to say because you know, it's tarot's become mainstream. So have you know, equal rights. So you want to see. I'd like to see in every deck, everywhere, the option for, you know, like 4 or 5 different lovers cards. I mean, I know that's asking a lot, but I mean, there's already 78 cards drawn. You know, take the time and draw a couple more that feature, you know, different sexualities. So that as much as I love this, I feel a pang because I know that straight people, you know, it wouldn't really, you know, they're not going to really feel much from this card. It's not going to resonate. And that's the only one that comes with this. So as much as I love it, I feel like it might have been a hang up and like he might have done himself a disservice by not including one. But on the flip side, you know, there are so many decks that only have a heterosexual couple. With no other, you know, no other sexual identities. And we use them, you know, gay people will use those and feel fine about it. So I guess it's time the tables have turned with at least a couple decks. I would still like to see in every deck, you know, some options. You know, that might be asking a lot, but, you know, I'm still going to ask it. Or just make it, you know, non-gender specific lovers card. Maybe it doesn't have to include people, or maybe they can be androgynous, you know. I don't know. Of course I like that, but, you know, not everybody will. The Chariot, we have the 2 cats again. And this is where, you know, it gets, you know, a little bit modern, and so with the chest too. And I think it works in this deck. I think it all has this like otherworldly feel to it. So I think it works, especially with this background back here. Strength is very interesting. He's putting flowers in the, what do you call that? The gun barrels? The barrels? We have the Lemniscate. The Hermit Crab. It's very cute. I mean, just the fact that, you know, there is a hermit crab, you know, and that's a hermit crab. And they do retreat into their shells. So it is very hermit, and it works so well. And I don't know that I've never seen it in a deck that I've owned or anything. So that's cool. Wheel of Fortune. I love seeing the wheel in here. This, what do you call that? Oh my god, what do you call it? I don't remember, guys, but you know what that is. You know, it's very old school. Reminds me of like, there's a fairy tale. Is it Rumpelstiltskin? I could be totally wrong, but I love that. Like the threads of fate, you know, is what that always reminds me of. And you don't see that in too many decks. I think I've seen it before, but I love it in this one. Justice, that is very applicable today. It just, you know, it's just very applicable. You can just tell, like, you know, with the protesting going on, and her standing on the steps, you know, reminds me of, like, you know, standing on the steps of, you know, like the White House, you know, demanding that justice with the crowds behind her. Pretty rough. There is some adult imagery. So this is pretty intense, especially compared to some of the rest of the deck. I don't know if we're going to see many other intense cards, but, you know, this definitely has that rebel feel. You know, I've really grabbed onto the Hangman lately as more of the rebel card. You know, somebody who has gone full force with their ideas, regardless of the consequences. And it has a lot to do with self-sacrifice too, like martyrdom even. So, you know, this guy looks, he's rough. He looks like he could be like a, you know, a big rebel, though. He spent his life on the outskirts battling the man. Look at this beautiful death card. It's interesting that he's holding a pomegranate. Pomegranate symbolize what? Knowledge? I really want to know now. And I should know that because it's in the High Priestess card. I think it's bear with me. I didn't plan on this being super short, so bear with me. I really do want to know. Like, this is something I should really know. Let's see. I'm going to take this Tarot Deciphered, because I think she talks about the imagery quite a bit. We'll see. And I'll just look up the High High Priestess. Let's see if she mentions. I don't have a book that of tarot symbolism, which is fine. Rider-Waite. B&J. No. Oh, because, well, no, she doesn't talk about the pomegranate at all. Guys! Well, I'll have to look at later. I'm just thinking kind of like knowledge. I think it represents like vitality as well. I think we can see it in the Empress. You know, I don't know. But I love this. I love that artwork. Temperance, very nice. And I do love when I see a look at that. I love when I see the same lovers depicted from the Lovers card to the Devil card. You know, it works so well. And this is very Adam and Eve. Or Adam and Steve. Yeah, okay. So, you know, it works. The Tower is very interesting. Driving away from a catastrophe. It almost looks like he's driving into it. At first you think he's driving towards you. And I guess he could be. But really, if we're Americanizing this, he's driving towards the catastrophe, which is something to know. Like, don't do that. There it is. Now you see it. Turn around. You don't want to go there. The Star has maybe even the same car with the same guy. You know, maybe he did decide to turn around and, you know, now he's going the opposite way and he's going towards the Star and, you know, that hope and restoration. I need some peace after seeing that shit. So that's very interesting. I love the Moon card. I love Moon cards that have phases in them, and it's just very, look at this. And I love that we still have our two dogs howling. We still have kind of like the pillars, but they're trees. That is a great Moon card. I love the Sun card as well. I think because it's not super bright in your face. The sepia tones are so awesome in this deck. I need to sit down so I'm not shaking the table, I think. Judgment is very cool. A little bit of mythology there. And you got the caterpillar in the turning into the the butterfly right here, signifying. And you got some scales here too, kind of the karmic scales. Yeah. And the world tree. It's beautiful. Of course, I love when I see a tree as the world card. I think, you know, the tree of life really is representative of the world in so many ways. Okay. The aces, super cool. Do you kind of see what I'm getting at when I say like it's modern in some areas, but it blends with like the more fairy tale or what else would you call that? Like that's all I can think of is like a fairy tale feel, otherworldly. So it blends so well with that. I do like the Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands is very interesting. I like it. The Three of Wands, very Rider-Waite there. I mean, this is a Rider-Waite for sure. Inspired deck. So our Three of Wands with our 3 ships. Four of Wands. Super cute with the sparklers. Definitely a time for just fun and hanging out and celebration. Very nice. Five of Wands. Interesting. So we do see a little bit of the combativeness. You know, with the feathers, looks like they're kind of flying around. They've all taken off in a hurry. Maybe they were fighting on the ground. Maybe something scared them off. That's interesting. Six of Wands. I'll take it. Again, some of these cards I'm going to have to get used to, but I think I like the aesthetic and the overall feeling of the deck enough that I will end up loving even the cards that I'm like, meh, about, you know? Look at that. What is that? By the way, BTW, what is that? What is that little thing? Tell me. It's super cute, but I'm not sure what it is. It's got a really long tail like it's a possum. It has like the face of maybe a rat, a cat, I don't know. And then there's like a snake down here, it looks like. It has a 7 of Wands. I like that though. I really love the 8 of Wands. It's beautiful. 9 of Wands. Interesting. Huh. That's, you know, it's a very like almost like folktale-ish too, in a way. I don't know. Very typical 10 of Wands. Page of Wands. Here we have, you know, kind of the flashback to that ace there. This hat, they're two different hats, but we still have that same kind of feeling. So that's really cool. I like when things are synchronic. Is that a word? Synchronic like that? So I'm gonna put my I'm gonna take my court cards and put them separately. I like to look at them all at the end by myself. That's very modern with his phone as the Knight of Wands. Like, I'm really, you know, if you're watching this and you are interested, leaving a comment. Don't answer any other question but this one. I'm interested in what you think about this card. I don't know. It's all right, except it's, you know, it feels very juvenile to me. I'm going to say that. And I'm not bashing on the creator at all. This is his project. It's his deck, and I love it. But this is very like, you know, senior gay boy taking a selfie for Grindr to me. That's, especially with the V, like, okay. As the Knight of Wands, I guess I can see it for sure. Very sensual. You know, Wands are very sensual people, very outgoing, provocative. So it does work for the Knight of Wands. I wish it didn't feel so naughty, though, to be honest. So let me know what you think of that. Queen of Wands. She works. She's definitely like the fairy tale godmother of the court cards, I feel. That works well for the Queen of Wands. And then the King of Wands isn't a person. It is a deer, a stag, maybe, you know? With his little crown that's glowing. Oh, he has a salamander that we see. That's cool. Okay, put those separate. Ace of Cups, very nice. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. Very traditional. Oh, there's another kitty. I love that card, the Four of Cups. Five of Cups. We're in a graveyard there with an empty fountain. Very interesting. Six of Cups. Yes, that works really good for like reminiscence, even childhood, remembering, nostalgia. I think that works well for that. Seven of Cups. Ooh. I like that a lot. Like he's made a potion and it's exploded. He's brewed his potion, and whether that explosion is a good thing or a bad thing is left for the reader to decide, I suppose. We have another snake. There's a few snakes in here, so it'll be interesting to see what cards exactly they are and if they line up in some way, what the, you know, what the general meaning is for the snake. Usually it's not positive. They're kind of trickery for the snake. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups, very fulfilled there. Lots of growth. Beautiful, beautiful. And 10 of Cups. I like that. I really do like that quite a bit. Okay, more court cards. There's our Page of Cups, which is very Rider-Waite, and the fact that, you know, that the Page of Cups and the Rider-Waite and a lot of its clones have the fish jumping out of the cup. I love that it's a little, you have the tea bag here. It's little touches, you know, they're cute. There's our Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. See, I can get down with this a lot more. He seems a lot more mystical. It's just kind of jarring when you see this. I don't want to keep going back to that. Let's not focus on that. So I'm liking that Page of Cups. Yeah. Queen of Cups is a mermaid. Super cute. And King of Cups is very interesting because we don't see a very detailed figure. He's out here fishing. He does have his crown, and you've got a cup here. Yeah, King of the Seas there. Little fisherman. Very cute. Oh, this one's interesting. It's not super sepia like the others. You know what I mean? Like, that's almost more, not quite black and white, but closer. It's grayscale. It's the Ace of Swords, which is, you know, works well to me. You've got your king or knight or somebody coming to grab the Excalibur or to rip it out of somebody's hand. And that looks like a woman's hand with her glove. Very cool. Look at that Two of Swords with your unicorns. Three of Swords. They're piercing this poor bird. God, that's so interesting because it looks like a family of, you know, these, what do you call those whales that have that? There's a name for them, I don't know. But it looks like they're like attacking this bird. Four of Swords. I'm not a big fan of bugs. I don't like bugs, but you know, it works. It does work for this card. What is it, a fly? There are worse bugs than a fly. Why would a fly be underground? Maybe it's not a fly. I don't know what it is. It's a bug. It doesn't matter. It's a bug. But it works. It works for the Four of Swords. That is pretty intense as the Five of Swords, and it works very well as the Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Interesting. Poor guy is... Oh, it has a baby. She has a baby. Could be a he, too. It's kind of androgynous there. Has a little baby running away in a wicked storm, it looks like. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. I love the little, you know, hat tips to magicians and magic that he does in this card. It's part of the essence that makes it feel, you know, like it's in like some kind of third dimension. You know, I think maybe that's what I'm going, or like not third. Third is what I want. It's in a different dimension. It feels like this entire deck is kind of like it's modern enough to be now, but there's some things that aren't modern at all. So it feels like it just takes place now, but in an entirely different dimension where we've held on to a lot of the old ways a little bit more. And I think that's what I truly love about it. I think I said it there better than I have at any other point. It's still a hard feeling to get across. Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. And our Ten of Swords. This poor moth. I'm going to call it a moth. Poor little guy. Page of Swords. Yes, he's being knighted. I like that. Is he being knighted by the Queen? Knight of Swords. Did I say Knight of Swords? This is a page. Well, he's being knighted. He wasn't a knight, so he's being knighted. I don't know if that would have worked better as the Knight of Swords. It might have. That's interesting. And this might have worked better as the page. Well, no, because knights are a little bit more flighty, right? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So Knight of Swords. And there is our Queen of Swords. Now, it would have been kind of cool. Like, probably not. But, you know, just because I'm thinking about it. If this card had been like this part up here. Like with her face. The same exact image, but with the Queen of Swords actually knighting him. It's good. It's alright. Queen of Swords. I'm used to, at first, my first thought is I wish she was more mature, but I think we hang on to that too much too. Like, a young person can certainly be the Queen of Swords just as much as an older person. So, it's good that the age in here is not. In fact, I don't think there are very many older aged people. The Hanged Man was one. We might have seen a couple others. King of Swords looks very young, and that's definitely very, like, Excalibur-like. Yeah. What does this mean? That's interesting. I wonder if that's a symbol for something in particular, or if that's just a little design he made up. Last suit. Pentacles. There's a beautiful, beautiful ace. I like it. The Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's that balancing act. Three of Pentacles. The little worker bees going to town on their hive. Look at him. What is that? Like a little dragon? Some sort of dragon or griffin? Is that the word I want to use? Anyway, Four of Pentacles. Very cute. It's like, it's the dragon hoarding the treasure, protecting the treasure, waiting to, light anybody's head on fire who comes in to steal it, right? Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it looks like just rotting fruit that's being eaten by the flies and bugs. Interesting. Six of Pentacles, generosity, charity, giving back, sharing. Nice. Seven of Pentacles. And there's our eight. They both feel like a work card to me. Seven is more of like the kind of the wait and see the results card to me, which is interesting because it comes before the eight. Anyway, that's my own little brain working there, but they both work. Oh, there is another like grayscale card. That's interesting. That's the only second one. The second one I think we've seen. Interesting. I forgot to take those last. I've forgotten to take out all of the. Yeah. I forgot to take out a lot of court cards like I meant to do that. Sorry, I'll get them afterwards. Nine of Pentacles, though. That's really pretty. That's just really pretty. I like that card. I like it. And Ten of Pentacles. It's super interesting again because I feel like, and this is his work, so I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just giving my opinion, okay? That these should have been flipped for, like, I feel like, yeah, that's definitely like a Nine of Pentacles feeling, right? And that's more of the Ten of Pentacles with the entire, stability of the household type, in the foundations, and I don't know. Those two seem like they just go the exact opposite way. That's going to be rough for me. Yeah. I mean, I love both cards, don't get me wrong. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, very appropriate. Saving in your little piggy bank. Look at that little cat. It reminds me of those, those, some of you will know what I mean, but I saw them a lot in India, and I think you see them a lot in, like, Asian countries, too, where you have a little kitty like this, and it's mechanical, and it waves its little paw or something. I think, some of you will know what I'm talking about, but it reminds me so much of that, and I absolutely adore it. As the Knight of Pentacles, I think that works pretty well. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, it's another cat. It's one of those hairless cats. It looks like she's feeding her babies. Nice. Ooh, and the King of Pentacles. A tip to poker. I love poker. It's very cute. What are my thoughts on the deck? What are my thoughts on the deck? I want to draw a shirt on this guy. It's not because I mind any kind of, I mean, he could have his pants off, and it would still, I wouldn't blink an eye. I don't mind nudity at all, but this just feels totally off from the rest of the deck. Not even just because it's more modern, but because it just doesn't fit the overall aesthetic like I thought he was, like the rest of the deck does. The only thing that makes it kind of magical and kind of fit in is this little wand here with the star. I'm glad that's there. So that's, I think, my only qualm, not that I should have one, again, this is his deck, but, I think that as a creator, you have to be open to hearing any criticisms, positive criticisms, whether you agree with them or not. So if you do a future deck, you might want to, look at some of these things. There's, I think, only 2 cards that were black and white. Well, this one is. Next to this one, it is more sepia. So this is really, truly the only, like, grayscale card, and that's the 9 of Pentacles, which is very interesting. Yeah. God, now I wish there was a guidebook. And I don't think there is. I'm going to go to his website and just take a look, just in case, or his Etsy. I'll have to work with this a bit. It's one I'm not sure that I'll keep, to be honest. I wanted it enough to be able to look at it and all that. I won't keep it if I'm not going to use it, though. Oh, oops. Maybe it'll be next month's deck. After this month has been mostly Thoth, and I'm sticking with that as much as I'm like, oh, God. That's enough. I love learning about the Thoth, but I'd like to read from a different deck. But I'm going to wait. The cardstock, if we're interested, is not overly glossy, not that sick, shiny glossy that I just don't like. It's smooth. It's not super matte. It is, but it's not super glossy either. It's in the middle. It's there's nothing I think I can really compare it to. For some reason, I'm thinking like the Morgan Greer. The full-size Morgan Greer, if you have that, this is what the cardstock feels like. Same kind of feeling there. And I don't have it, otherwise I'd compare. I only have the tin. And I guess I'll look. I think that's in a different cardstock. Maybe it is the same cardstock. I haven't opened her in a minute. Yes. Not exactly. But yeah, almost exactly. It's got the same feel if you're interested in as the Morgan Greer. I think that's it. So, do we want to do... I'll do just a quick little reading. Today's reading... I have not done a today's reading, so this will be it. They do shuffle beautifully. We're going to do how